Hello, boys, girls, ladies, and gentlemen, and everything in between. My name is Ram,
And my name is Sly.
and this is whatever floats you go. Fuck.
Good going. Good going.
Nope, staying.
Jackass.
It's whatever floats your goat. Uh,
Oh man.
it's nice to be back, and I can't wait to just fill this video with plenty of ums.
Oh, it's
'Cause
gonna be great. It's back to the old formula with absolutely no. We've improved the formula, absolutely none.
uh, whatever floats your goat, formerly booty salad, now back with twice as many ums for your dollar. That's 2 ums for the price of one.
um,
Um.
Booty salad. I still miss the name booty salad. Though.
Yeah,
That
Booty Salad was
still-
pretty good, but I felt like it was necessary to change the name of it just because it's like you want something that people can talk about and talk about openly and not go, oh, well, I'm this weirdo who listens to Booty Salad hosted by a raunchy ram.
Well, that's your fault. I mean, everyone knows. No one's gonna, hosted by Sly. There's no connotation there. But with you, it kind of sounds weird. I guess from that perspective, yes, it makes total sense.
All right,
But,
so we ended up bringing back Booty Salad, but Panda couldn't be with us today because, like, as usual, he never shows up on time.
oh god, he's probably, yelling at his internet or something. I don't know.
He's
whatever he
probably
does.
busy being,
PC
a
master race.
PC elitist. Because that's what happened. That's why we haven't been playing with Panda so much. He's gotten a PC, and he's been too busy to hang out with us. Well, too PC to hang out with us. You PC, bro?
It sucks because I'm the only one of my friends who doesn't have a PC. It doesn't. Oh god, my PC sucks a dick.
I want to play with him anyway, because all he wants to do is play League. And I have no interest in League.
Yeah, League sucks pretty big balls. At least that's what I'm told. I think it's one of those games that like it's good at first, but it takes 8,000 games for you to realize how shitty it is, and that's too much of a time investment for me.
I don't like that most of it is like auto-targeting. There's no misses or anything like that. I prefer MOBAs where there's skill shots involved, like Paragon or Smite. Anyway.
Smite's good.
Uh,
Anyway.
On to the, fuck.
Five.
News. Okay, gaming news. All right. The first bit is going to be the stuff that's relevant to us because me and Brett mostly play Xbox. Oh, wait, I called you Brett. Fuck. Sly. I'm totally not going to edit that out later.
I know you won't. But yeah, it's not necessarily that we play on Xbox by choice. It's kind of like we have to.
Because it's the only way I can hang out with you because it's all you've got.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's not by choice.
First bit of news is something I care about quite a bit. And some other people out there are going to care about quite a bit. The PS Vita recently got a custom firmware hack. A custom firmware, what's it called? Mod? Hack? Like, whatever. Either way, I'm not going to give out the information on this. It's, like, readily available, but, like, I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to give it out because otherwise I could get a takedown from Sony if they cared. I'm not going to give out the name, but right now it doesn't allow you to illegally play Vita games or PSP games. It doesn't allow you to pirate them. What it does do is that it's a homebrew hosting custom firmware, and it lets you play arcade games and Game Boy Advance emulators, but it doesn't give you access to the ROMs and stuff like that. So it's all like completely legal. But Sony is a company, Sony's a business, and they're going to do whatever they can to protect their assets. And even if you can't actually hack it to play Vita games or PSP games, they're going to shut it down on the possibility that it one day could.
I don't understand this. Like, a PS Vita was, from everything I know, was mostly a flop, right? Like, no one really cared that much
Yeah,
about
and
the
Sony
PS
stopped
Vita.
supporting it, but they care just enough still to keep you from using a homebrew.
I can't stand that shit, because it's like, if you're not going to do anything with it, why punish those that will? It's so stupid. It's like the whole, the whole Blizzard World of Warcraft thing, where there were vanilla servers for the old World of Warcraft, like the initial launch version, and people were hosting those servers because there was a demand for it. And Blizzard, in typical Blizzard fashion, instead of opening up their own servers, took down those servers and still didn't meet the demand. So it was just really stupid. Like 800,000 people signed up for one particular server to play on it. That's a sizable portion of people. 800,000 people?
And
That's a
the
lot.
thing with this is that the developers have no plans to make it so that you can do this, so that you can hack Vita games and play them on there. They have no intention of doing it like the 3DS hack that exists out there. The 3DS hack that exists out there lets you pirate these games and play them online, and there's no risk of getting caught. And, like...
But I can see as to why it would be a bad thing. Even if that's not their intention, it could be the intention of someone else.
Yeah,
it
could eventually become a problem later on. But
yeah.
They've already released an update, and it's been only a little over a week since the Homebrew came out, and Sony's already put a patch in. I don't think it blocks the Homebrew, but it may block the potential of the Homebrew. So if you got a Vita that's 3.6 or lower and you're able to upgrade it to exactly 3.6, leave it there if you plan on using the Homebrew, if you want to play stuff like the Amiga.
Oh, man, those... Ooh, boy. That's something else that also kind of... It just goes over my head, and I'm like, why would you want to play older games? I get it, but to an extent, but most older games sucked.
You remember the Game Boy Advance. The Game Boy Advance was, it had so many good games on it. Like, the only other system I can think of that had such a consistent quality throughout the entire system life was the PS2.
I suppose. I just feel like a bunch of the... of course, games get better as they progress. And, of course, there are some games that are classic, like Ocarina of Time. And pretty much anything that Nintendo made back then. It's just... A ton of them was also crappy. There's a bunch of bad things. It was the Wild West of the gaming days, so to say.
On to the next part. The next thing that we have is the Xbox One S has recently been released about a week ago. The Xbox One S is a smaller version of the the original Xbox One, the 2013 version, and the main difference is that it's smaller, it's white, it still looks like a cable box, and it plays in a 4K resolution, sort of. It kind of does what the 360 did with 720p to 1080p. The original 360 wasn't actually able to play games in 1080p. What it did was it took a 720p and it upscaled it to 1080p and played it that way. And the Xbox One S does a similar thing with 1080p to 4K. I don't know the exact details of it. It's not something I know. I'm just saying it's not true 4K yet, which is what the Xbox One Scorpio is working on. Based on recent news, it's looking like getting an Xbox One S might not be ideal because of how quickly they're selling out. You might actually be better off waiting for the Xbox One Scorpio. The Xbox One S 2TB White Edition is actually sold out of copies in most stores, and I think it's sold out on Amazon. And Microsoft has said that they are not going to be replenishing the stock of the Xbox One S.
Oh, come on. Why? There's obviously demand for it. Are they not making money?
The reason they're not doing it is because the Scorpio's a thing.
Oh, yeah, I suppose the
Scorpio is going to have true 4K, which I don't think is even, like, I don't think we're going to get true 4K for quite a while. Like, call me skeptical and stuff, but let's point out a recent game. What was it? Call of Duty Ghosts? Call of Duty Black Ops 3? I think they both ran on 920p and then upscaled to 1080. They were not even true 1080. But they did run at 60 FPS, and I think Diablo wasn't true 1080. Those are games that weren't able to achieve 1080 with AAA development studios that, like, some of these studios make just as much, if not more, than Microsoft, and they're still struggling to achieve true 1080p on consoles.
Well,
And like we haven't even reached 1440p, which is the next resolution jump.
but I'm assuming this is something that's going to come with time. The consoles have been out. I mean, relatively not that long. It's been a few years now, but like if you look at the beginning of the last generation cycle, like the 360, the games that came out at the beginning of the 360 and at the end were completely different. Like the games at the beginning of 360 look like absolute shit.
It's a gradual process, but right now you're paying for technology that you're not using.
Oh yeah, for sure. But I mean, it's with the promise that, well, not necessarily the promise, but with the assumption that with time, developers are going to squeeze every little bit of potential out of the system. It's a good way to make something great out of, like with PCs, you can just keep upgrading your PC to run basically anything. But with a console, that
You have to
hardware is not
upgrade
getting
through
any
families.
better. Well, yeah, but I mean, what I'm saying is the console is static. It's not changing. It's not gonna have any hardware.
A little change on that. The Xbox One S actually has a stronger graphics processor, and it's overclocked. So that's how they're able
run
to
smoother.
It'll run better and brighter. So when you actually play it on the 4K, you'll notice a difference. But if you're using the Xbox One S on a 1080p screen or lower, you will not notice a graphical difference on it. But obviously to be compatible with the 4K on it, you need a 4K TV. And the 4K TV's ports need to be HDMI, I think 3.0 or higher if you want to be able to use the 4K that's on the current system. Because the Xbox One apparently uses a newer 4K port or whatever it is. Like I said, I don't know anything about 4K. I just know that this isn't true 4K yet. And that you need a very recent 4K TV, because I know a lot of you that actually have 4K TVs probably don't have like the most recent one, so you're probably still running a less than 3.0 version of the port. Anyway,
if you're like most people, you'll just stick with the console you have currently, because that's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, I can't
even
notice
if I
a
had the
resolution
money.
difference between 720p and 1080p. Maybe it's because of my color blindness or whatever, but like I can't notice a difference, so I'm not going to be upgrading to 4K yet.
I'll wait for the next console for the most part, unless mine explodes again, in which case I'll
For
have to.
now, though, if you are interested in buying the Xbox One S, the 2 terabyte Robot White bundle comes with the controller and the system. That's not really a bundle. I don't know why they're listing it as that. But Best Buy, Walmart, and all your usual places are selling it for around $400 for the 2 terabyte version, but this is the one they're not replenishing. And the absolute cheapest you can buy it is console standard price $300 for a 500 gigabyte version.
We're sponsored by
Oh,
Walmart
yeah, totally.
and Best Buy and
No,
Radio
we're sponsored
Shack.
by Target. If anything,
Radio
we're
Shack.
lucky enough to get Target or Kmart.
Radio Shack, Blockbuster. God, our sponsors, it's kind of, I think it's foreshadowing. Holy crap. Our sponsors are things that have already gone the way of the dodo.
The next piece of news is Overwatch, something that a lot of people
God.
play that Brett isn't really a fan of. I'm okay with Overwatch, but I don't have a team to play it with, so I don't play it very often because I don't like playing against a bunch of bastions and losing. And I'm not a high enough level for competitive.
It's just not that good, right? Like, it's okay. I can get it. It's fun. I get that, but it's not that great. Like, it's another character shooter. Like, I don't see why everyone's like jizzing out of their nose holes for it.
Because it's Blizzard.
Yeah, but Blizzard, everything Blizzard has not done, everything Blizzard has done has not been great. I mean, look at fucking Heroes of the Storm. No one plays that shit. It's just not that great, you know? And look what Blizzard did to the WoW servers. Like, not everything Blizzard does is good. Blizzard is a
Not to mention
big piece of shit
Diablo 3's
sometimes.
auction house.
Yeah, I mean, come on. But Overwatch isn't that good. Like, it's not terrible. It's not the worst thing ever. It's not the worst thing since fucking Hitler AIDS or whatever.
We're gonna
but
get
it's
so
not
many
that
downvotes.
great.
We're gonna get so
It's
many
not that
dislikes.
fucking great. Like, it's not that good. You have, okay, it's like Battleborn, but without the depth in terms of gameplay. I feel like Battleborn is more in depth in
You're
terms of like
compar
what you have to
you're
do.
comparing apples to oranges. Like
Well, no,
I don't
I'm
like
not
the Battleborn
comparing.
to Overwatch comparison.
I don't like the comparison either. But they're two games that have distinct characters in it. All right, and that's the only comparison I'm wanting to make here. It's just another game that has a, albeit very interesting and unique character selection. It's just, but the gameplay is still It's whatever, you know. It's It doesn't change the formula at all. It just does it really well. That's my main issue with it.
What I
Everyone's
liked
like,
about
oh,
Overwatch was at first I thought it was a very unique game, and then people started making comparisons to Team Fortress and other stuff like that, and I was like, wow, this is significantly less impressive. Because think about it. Like, you think Torbjorn's a unique character, he's a dwarf who builds turrets, and then you
oh,
remember
that's not
that
unique.
Engineer's a thing. Engineer's a short dude, builds turrets, throws out healing stations. Torbjorn throws out armor packs. You got the medic, which is a German person who wears all white, heals people, and has a damage buff. Mercy and medic are pretty much the same character, just male versus female one.
I like what I'm saying is it does everything well. You know, like it has unique characters. It has
On its own, it
substantial.
stands fine, but
Yeah.
it's repetitive. Like there's
It,
no point in playing it for long periods of time. You play it for a while, you're gonna get tired of it, and that's it. Like
and don't even get me started on the fucking sprays. Oh my god,
so
the
many
loot
sprays.
boxes are fucking like. It's so
At
stupid to
least
me.
Team
The
Fortress
only
let us upload custom ones.
It's so like it blows my mind. It's like the only reason to keep playing this game, besides fun, but at the point in which you run out of fun, the only reason to keep playing the game is for the progression, which is the loot boxes. But the loot boxes are absolute shit. You like you get 80% of the things you get are sprays, and you can get duplicates of the same sprays you've gotten. So you can open up a box and get 3 of the same sprays that which.
But if you
Granted,
get
is
duplicates, you get the money, and then you can use the
yeah,
money to
you get
buy
the
stuff.
money, but the money's also stupid. The money allows you to buy specific things that you want, but you can only get the money on the off chance that you get a duplicate or you get a drop of money. You should be able to earn money at the end of a round or something, you know?
You can
Like,
buy the
it's
box.
stupid.
They have microtransactions in, but they don't let you.
Oh,
They don't let.
great.
They don't let you buy the money. Instead, they let you buy the randomized loot box. Why
Yeah,
give us
like,
the ability to buy what we actually want when they can just charge us the loot box and just, it's really annoying. We're
yeah,
basically paying for sprays.
you know, I listened to Total Biscuits analysis on the microtransactions in Overwatch, and I agreed with him on some points. He said that it was consumer friendly because it allowed people who didn't have the time to earn the skins to instead pay money to get the skins. I was like, okay, yeah, sure, that's fine. But me, as a person who doesn't have a lot of time and doesn't have money, it sucks. Because for me, I want as much game as I can get with the initial value. So that's where I disagree with pretty much
Well,
everyone.
you have a problem with that. You're not going to like the actual news. The actual news is that in honor of the Rio Olympics in is Rio in Australia? Like, no, I don't even fucking know. No, it's Rio, Brazil, right? I don't fucking know. Tell me how I'm wrong in the comments. I live in America. I don't need to know all your other fucking countries going on. I'm not leaving here anytime soon. Well,
Oh
I
man.
might move to Canada soon.
Oh man.
People know why.
Oh Trump.
Uh,
Oh Trump.
you're not supposed to spell it out. They're supposed to just know.
Trump.
Anyway,
So how are you gonna trump that news? Keep going.
uh, anyway, uh, in honor of the Rio Olympics, which are from some country and somewhere, uh, they're releasing skins for certain characters that are just jerseys and sweatbands.
Oh great! It's like the team. It's like the team
They
skins
are
from
not available
Smite.
for purchase with the in-game currency. They are inside the loot boxes. And they're only available for a limited time.
Oh, great. Oh, good. Ooh, boy. So, oh my god, dude, that shit's so stupid. Like, I'll suggest, I'll say it. Overwatch's microtransactions aren't as, like, egregious as a ton of other games, you know, like Dead Space 3, you know, things like that.
They're pretty
But
fair, but they're trying to find every reason they can to milk us for money.
it's so, but I still hate it. Like, you know, I'm okay with microtransactions to an extent. For the most part, I don't like them, but, you know, I can tolerate them.
And
But that's so
I'm not
stupid.
liking it. A lot of people aren't liking it. People that were in favor of the customizations before, who actually like the customizations, are now actually complaining about the Rio customizations because it's limited time. You can't buy it with the currency, and you can only earn it through the boxes. So you can either pay for boxes to get it, or you can just keep getting them. And it wouldn't be a problem to get them from the boxes normally if you didn't get so many fucking sprays.
Also, if it didn't take 5 years to level up, like,
Yeah, and
once you
I
hit the
feel
higher
really
levels,
bad for like the 200 people.
does it get hard? Like, does it
It
even
gets
get
harder
harder?
as you go. I assume it caps
Really?
off at some point, but it does take more XP to level up as you go.
I thought, like, after you prestige, right? Like, so let's say your
There's no
second
prestige.
well, whatever, 200 level 1, like, so you're level 201, it would just take as much XP as it normally would take at level 1.
I'm sure at some point it does plateau, but like as far as I can tell, I haven't played much. Like I haven't even hit 25, so like I don't know.
I,
Anyway,
but
anyway,
it takes forever.
I feel bad for anyone who's actually at that plateau point where it takes them forever to level up, and their defense of it. One of the defenses behind it was they gave us Anna for free. They
What?
gave a character for free.
They gave us Anna for free.
That's
bought the
that's their
game.
fucking
What?
defense. That the game is $60. All the other characters, you don't have to unlock them through levels. You don't have to do all that stuff. But they gave us Anna for free, and they gave us access to a bunch of skins right off the bat. So we're supposed to be thankful for them giving us another character to dilute the loot boxes with more fucking gear for another character. We're supposed to be thankful that they're giving us more reasons to throw money at them. Yes, Activision. Yes, Blizzard. Thank you so much for making us want to spend more money on your game. Thank
Oh
you
my
so much.
God.
I owe you.
That's like, they might as well just, like, as a response
They should
to
just
that
come out and say,
question,
you should be thankful that you're giving us money.
you should be thankful that I'm allowing you the opportunity, the pleasure of polishing my shaft.
You
Like,
should be
come
thankful
on.
as I'm reaching into your pocket to actually pull out your wallet and look for change.
It's so, God, it's so silly.
Blizzard right now is essentially walking into our homes with a vacuum cleaner, looking under our couch cushions for every fucking penny they can find, because if they're not doing it, other people certainly are looking for pocket change. It's shitty. It is
Yeah,
just
I gave
really
you
shitty.
Anna. Dude, then if that's the value, okay, so if that's the case, then we should look at Overwatch as as a game as it's at its initial value. God, I cannot speak. So if they
It should
gave us
just be a free
Anna,
game.
well, it should be apparently. But if they gave us Anna for free, right? What does that like entail? Does that mean all the other characters will not be free? Is that what it means? Does that mean
No,
that we got
all
lucky?
the other characters are going to be free because they want the game to be competitively a fair environment. They just want to be able to throw in as many customizations and things that they can charge us for as possible, and then just having a scapegoat, which is their whatever character recently came out. They just want to be able to say that you owe us, or that it's okay that we're throwing more microtransactions in there because we gave you something for free.
We gave you something that we told you we're giving you something that we have to give you in order to keep competitive with all the other games out there. Yeah, that seems okay. Like, what's next? Like, how far does it go from here, right? So what's the next character? They're gonna put time exclusive blowjobs or something in the game? Like, I don't get it. Oh, the
It's gonna come.
Timmy
The
got the
new
blowjob,
character.
but you
She's
didn't.
gonna come out with the new character is gonna come out with a new DLC, and it's gonna include a source filmmaker Overwatch porn from like 3 months
Oh
ago,
God.
and then they charge us for that.
And the reason that you're able to earn that is because we gave you that new character, and you gave us the
It's
money for the game.
it's shitty. It is really, really, really shitty.
And people like defend the game, and I can see why. I can see why people would defend it to
People
an
are
extent,
okay with
but
it when it's not EA, when it's not Konami, when it's not Ubisoft. But when it's suddenly not them, and when it's suddenly a company that they appreciate, they're thankful. They've got their fucking eyes rolled into the back of the head, flashing peace signs, all ahagao, waiting for the fucking fresh hot load coming from Blizzard.
it's also, I mean, Activision is like always a part of this, and I don't know. I mean, Blizzard's obviously to blame, and
That's another thing. Like, how could you not expect this to happen? Activision bought Blizzard.
it's so it's so stupid though, because like with the Bungie thing with Destiny, people are like, "Oh, it's obviously not Bungie, it's Activision," and I'm like, no. First off, they signed the contract. It's not like they signed a contract with the highest hopes, like, yeah, now we can make this game, and then
You know who
walked
Activision
in
is. Everybody
with a
knows who
strap
Activision.
on.
When you see Activision, you know what you're signing up for. There's like no surprise. No one at Blizzard was like, I'm going to sell it to Activision because I know they're going to take good care of the game and they're not going to put microtransactions in it. No, they looked at Activision and they were like, you're going to make us money.
You don't get to pretend, like, they don't get to pretend that they don't get to pretend that they're surprised when Activision's shoving a dick up their ass. Like, right? That's not a thing. They knowingly accepted the conditions in the contract.
One last thing before we move on to the next piece. This is some Konami levels of bullshit.
Oh God, oh boy.
And on to the next thing. Speaking of shitty business, Nintendo does it again. Some of you guys probably actually like fan games out there, although I doubt it. Based off my demographic, most of you guys are between the ages of 18 to 25, which means you probably don't play retro games all that much, but there are people out there that care about it.
That's offensive.
I know
What if
it's
there are?
mildly... There are people out there, and that's why I said most.
Why does it matter if I'm white? That's really offensive. You should really.
I didn't say that.
Yes, you did. You implied it.
I love white people. Some of my best friends are white people.
Oh, so you love white people more than black people. I see how it is. So why don't you love black people just as much?
Fuck
I'm
you,
calling
Brett.
you out here. I gotta
now
call
you're
you
fucking
out.
calling me out.
I gotta call you out. If I don't call you out, no one will.
I love
With
everybody
this-
equally except for dirty Armenians.
Oh, that's okay though. We all understand. Fuck Armenians. Oh, man.
Alright, Nintendo shuts down another fan remake of a game. A while ago, it was some Legend of Zelda remake of some sort. It was a fan game, a hack. And a recent one, AM2R, another Metroid 2 remake, was made. That's the actual title. And my partner Adrian has been playing it quite a bit and is excited for it. And this news only just came out today, so it's going to be some bad news for Adrian to hear it, and I hope they hear it from me rather than from the podcast. But the remake is apparently very good, very fun, and very playable, but Nintendo took it down shortly after it launched with a takedown notice. The game is not playable, and in the future it may not ever be playable. And according to copyright law and parody law, the game should be allowed to stay up, but of course no one's going to defend it. The game uses new graphics, new sprites. It's essentially a new game, but that doesn't matter to Nintendo. Nintendo, this is not affecting your income in like any fucking way at all. It is a fan remake coming out for free. And you already just said that you're not going to release another Metroid game for a few years because you can't find a way to innovate the series. But someone creates a fan game, has innovation, and rather than you commending them for it or learning something from it, you take it down. It does nothing. It does nothing against them. There is nothing wrong with the game existing that it actually affects Nintendo's income. But Nintendo is so fucking archaic and is so behind in the times that it doesn't understand that this is good for them. This is free advertisement. Nintendo, everything they do is archaic. Their consoles are at least 5 years behind every single time they come out with a new one. They use their own custom hardware. Because they don't want to pay licensing fees for using existing hardware that's already out there. Like when you put a USB in your computer, you actually have to pay the guy who created the USB to use the USB.
Ah, that's good. Oof.
And because Nintendo is Nintendo and they're struggling or whatever, or they're cheap or whatever it is, they use all custom hardware and stuff like that so that they don't have to pay for licensing fees.
You
And
think like, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but do you think like maybe Nintendo isn't a giant asshole, right? Like maybe it's getting lost in translation. Like they're saying stuff, oh no, it's okay, and then the translator's like, oh, just shut it down. It's incredibly bad.
you think it's really bad translators that are doing
Yeah.
this? Someone's using Google Translate and it's just not working out.
Yeah, I mean that could possibly be it, right? Like the thing on YouTube where you can't play any Nintendo game, anything featuring any Nintendo characters without
Unless
being partnered with them.
Yeah, you had to partner with them, and then even then you're only allowed to use games from the list of games that they have, which excludes certain retro games.
I mean that's that's fucking
That's
obstacle
essentially a
course and half.
sponsorship deal, and you're getting paid less than you would if you played other video games. They take a portion of your profits, and then they basically do a sponsorship deal with you in which they don't actually sponsor you or give you any money. Instead, they just take money from you, and some of you guys are signing up with it and you're just okay with it.
In return, you get to stream their wonderful games. Great.
Oh, and
Good
the other
games.
thing they're behind in is their social media. The social media for the Wii U is old as fuck. It's essentially Reddit. It's an old ass forum, and you just comment or you doodle.
Wait, is Reddit old?
Reddit's
Reddit's
pretty
good,
old.
though. But it's
Reddit's,
good.
Reddit is
People
good.
use it.
Reddit is good, but like the actual social networking system on the Wii U, it's non-existent. Like, and then still runs on friend codes.
Yeah, that's like codes were fucking archaic when they came out. Like codes were archaic when they had the whole level codes where it's like, oh, the game can't save, but you can skip straight to this level by putting in this fucking 800-digit code. Like,
or like in Mega Man, where you use dots on a like tic-tac-toe board, or you set up pictures of the Megabots.
that shit's so like that crap was old when it came out. Like when that was introduced, people were like, "Oh my god, what is this? There has to be a better way." You know, like that's how
And
old
then
they are.
Nintendo
That's how
invented the
behind.
internal battery. That is the most innovative and fresh thing they've ever done, and that was like 20 years ago.
I think they were also.
It was like 30 years ago, and that was the creation of the internal battery so that you could save to your cartridge.
I think the first thing, another thing that they invented was like they invented game cartridges, like not like an N64 cartridge, but like the case that the game was put in. I think they invented that. I don't.
Oh yeah,
necessarily
before
think
it was
that's,
just VCR sleeves.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, you can take that for what it is. I mean, I'm sure someone eventually would have come along, and be like, hey, you know what? Instead of letting
It
our
built up
discs be
dust.
out here, yeah, let's
Or
put it
just
inside the
scratching
fucking
up.
box. Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, that's ooh.
Anyway, Nintendo, stop being tremendous shitlords and let people have fun. Like, quit yelling at children from your front porch, shaking your cane at them. Quit telling them to stop having fun.
Support Pokemon Go. Oh, dude, oh god, Pokemon Go. That's some cancer and a half, isn't it?
It's meh.
I've heard a lot of stuff.
It's incredibly mediocre.
I don't. I mean, this is an entirely new topic. I don't necessarily think it's mediocre. I think it's awesome. Like, the premise is awesome, but I think the game itself is really shitty. Like, I hear all the.
I'll say what I
horror
said in my
stories.
review of it. It's a good phone game, but it's a horrible Pokemon game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess it's in actuality, though, isn't it the closest game to ever, like, it's the closest to a Pokemon game ever, right? It's the first
It's the closest
Pokemon
spin-off. It's the closest spin-off Pokemon game to a Pokemon game. But it's missing key features like trading, being able to battle other players.
not being able to hack it and make your account level 8 billion or whatever. Yeah. That's the key. That's the key thing right there. I saw advertising for someone advertising for Pokemon Go accounts, like accounts that already have like apparently
$1.50 for a level 20 account.
Yeah, or for accounts that already have like some of the best Pokemon in the game, and I'm like, what the fuck? What kind of game? The market must be so shitty in that game. Like I don't want to start. I don't have a phone. But
The
if I
problem
had
with the
a
game
phone,
is how easy it is to hack.
Yeah, exactly. But so why, if it's so easy to hack, then there's no reason to play any other way. You might as well just hack.
Yeah.
Because everyone else is hacking, so why not you? Otherwise, you're gonna be behind.
It's just Nintendo is so out of date, but like that's not even related to Pokemon Go. They had nothing to do with Pokemon Go. The only names that are on it are the Pokemon Company and Niantic. But yeah, Nintendo, you need to like find some way to regain your youth. Like cheat on your wife, get a sports car, get your
Get a dog.
get something to make you more fun and more youthful again, because you forgot what being a developer was about. You forgot what made you unique. You forgot what made you special as a company, and now all people think of when they talk about you on YouTube and stuff like that, all they have is a bitter taste in their mouth and some fun games. Like, what? Can't you just be just the fun games and not leave a bitter taste in my mouth when I talk about you? Like, I want to be able to go, I don't like racing games, but Mario Kart's all right. Good thing Nintendo came out with it.
Yeah. To me, Nintendo's always that kid sitting in the corner eating glue. Like that's always how it is.
And then he yells at other
just
kids
me.
when they try to eat glue. Like, no, this is
Yeah,
my
exactly.
glue. You can't have it.
And I think that's just like the consensus with most console gamers is that they see Nintendo in that light.
Nintendo's that one person who still uses MySpace.
Nintendo, like, they still do fun things, right? Like, they have probably, like, some of their previous ad campaigns have been fun. They've been funny. They seem to take it less seriously than most other people. But they're not doing it right.
They've got
Like,
two mouths, and they use one for everything, and then the other mouth they use to tell you to not have fun. It's like,
if it wouldn't be for Zelda, like, I wouldn't give I would give zero shits.
if it wasn't for
what Nintendo
Pokemon,
did.
I wouldn't give a shit about them. I really wouldn't.
I hardly care about Pokemon.
I really like Pokemon, and if Monster Hunter didn't come out on the 3DS, I wouldn't own a 3DS.
Yeah, Monster Hunter and Zelda.
All right, so news is over.
Oh man.
I got one video recommendation that people watch. It's
Oh,
pretty
we're doing
funny.
video recommendations.
No, you can't suggest MLG Godzilla Dropkick again.
I was going to.
I know you were.
That video is still a classic.
I know you were going to say it. That's why I said no.
Oh man.
Anyway,
It's a classic.
I was going to say, I'm going to have to look up his channel. I just recently subscribed to it. Find something to talk about so there's no dead air, Brett.
You should probably go watch MLG Dropkick. What is MLG?
Shut up.
MLG Godzilla
I found it.
Dropkick
I found
guide.
it. Shut up. All right.
Oh, baby.
I'll put a link in the description to his channel. It's called The Report of the Week. And this guy puts up videos every so often where he reviews things. Like, he reviews things in general, like that TV show on Comedy Central, The Review. But rather than reviewing different aspects of life, he reviews literally every possible thing else. Like, he has reviews for drinking, for different energy drinks, for trying different foods. he even had a review for purified water versus spring water.
There's a difference?
Yes, apparently. The spring water has a slight chemical aftertaste because of the filtering process, even though they use the same filtering method. Anyway, he's pretty funny, but not funny in like an actual funny way where he's like jokes and stuff like that. It's more like he's what's that thing called where you're funny but you're not trying to be funny and you're not making jokes? Dry.
Dry, yeah, dry humor.
It's kind of a dry humor. He says it with a straight face, and he's like reviewing water, and he's like, it's got this watered down kind of flavor to it, and he just keeps sipping at it.
It's one of those jokes where you're just like,
yeah, it's one of those kinds of jokes. But yeah, like he's pretty funny. He reviews some interesting stuff, like. And he wears like a full suit and tie when he does it, and he has his hair slicked back. And
that's actually funny.
Let me bring it up. His intro is hilarious. Don't listen to the ad. Don't
copy strike.
Copyright strike.
We're down. Bye. I'm out.
He sounds like Jerry Seinfeld when he does his opener.
Oh, God.
This is the report of the week, and this is the review.
What's the big deal with peanuts? I mean, come on.
What is the deal with the razor blade slots on airplanes? Is someone actually shaving up there? I mean, come on.
Shit's so stupid.
But the dude is crazy funny. He makes some... he reviews some really mundane stuff, and like he's only got 72,000 subscribers, and I really think he needs more. Like, I doubt I'm gonna be able to help him at all by like suggesting this, but if you like check out his videos, like please go over there, check him out, subscribe. He makes some hilarious content, and I don't think enough people know about him. Anyway, your turn, Brett, and not MLG Godzilla Dropkick.
Well, I mean, if we're just promoting channels that are much bigger than us, but I still feel deserve more love. There's this one guy, I believe he's British. The name of his channel is KG Gaming, I think.
Doesn't sound familiar.
Oh yeah, I wouldn't imagine. So yeah, he's a pretty small YouTuber. I don't quite recall how many subscribers he has, but he covers game mechanics and game feels, if that makes sense. He's a very, I would say, learned person. He explains some mechanics in games and what is a good mechanic and what is a bad mechanic. But the way he does it is there is no such thing as a bad mechanic. He just feels like some mechanics are used incorrectly. And he defends some mechanics that he thinks are just straight up dumb. Like there's a mechanic that he coined called the endless maze, which is basically a point in a game, like for instance in Prince of Persia, where you keep walking through a maze that keeps repeating. It's like you're getting nowhere. And he tried very hard to say that there was nothing good about it, but in the end he still managed to find, at least some way, in some form, some fashion, that this could be used in a positive way in a game. But yeah, he talks about in-depth gaming stuff, and I really enjoy it. I highly recommend it. It's interesting. Also, he has a nice voice, so.
All right, I'm gonna need you to link that to me later in Discord.
Yeah,
his channel.
Yeah.
And all right. So now I guess we just fill out the rest of the time and talk about stuff that happens to us. I've been using Furzu a lot. I'm not going to give out the actual URL and stuff like that because we have a huge troll issue. And it's a furry dating site, social site kind of thing, and it's pretty cool. I met a lot of people. That's where I met Adrian. Forgot I'm not supposed to say Adrian. I'm supposed to say their YouTube name. Fuck.
That's what I was
Glowcat.
Oh, well, just forget that you mentioned the name previously.
Just forget the name. Yeah. And
It's
it's
not actually a
45 minutes
thing.
in, dude. Does anybody actually watch this, like, the full duration? Does anybody
I
actually
don't.
watch to this point? So,
I mean,
yeah.
I don't. So I mean,
I
oof.
definitely don't.
I go to sleep listening to myself, so it's okay.
But yeah, that's where I met Glowcat. I met a lot of cool people on there. I met some PC gaming buddies and stuff like that. We've been playing golf with friends and Cards Against Humanity and stuff like that. And I recently decided that I'm going to actually try and lose weight. I've completely switched over to, well, I successfully quit soda for like a week. No, 2 weeks, and no caffeine and stuff like that. I completely had it out of my system, and then I was like, you know what? I'm tired of being fucking tired all the time, so I went back to Diet Pepsi, and thankfully Diet Pepsi not too long ago came out with an aspartame-free version. Aspartame is that sweetener that your body doesn't digest very well. That stuff that people were saying is in diet soda, which is essentially poison. So,
You know,
I'm drinking diet...
soda's worse than regular soda.
Yeah, it is.
I'm so tired of that fact, though. But that's
Yeah.
like the fact that everyone says. It's like entry
Because
level
it
intelligence.
seems absurd. It seems absurd that it's a thing, but yeah. I've been drinking Diet Pepsi without aspartame, and I mean it's all right. Like I'm not noticing a weight change at all or anything yet, but that ties in with another problem. Have you ever like lived with someone and you were trying to change the way you live and like
Yes.
everything they do
Yes.
undermines absolutely everything?
Yes.
That's
Yes. Fuck yes. I completely understand that. It's like years ago I was trying to go on a diet when I lived with my stepfather and his mother. And, we live in the South, so, home of the cornbread, stuff like that. So, like, every freaking Sunday, they would make fried chicken. And god damn, I love fried chicken, but god damn, is it bad for you. And, like, I couldn't lose weight because it was like, I either eat this food or starve. And exercise is a really inefficient way to lose weight. Your diet is probably the most important part about losing weight. And if you can't control your diet, then it's like, why even try? Because it's like, okay, I can eat this fried chicken so I don't starve to death, but now I need to run like 10 miles. Great.
And then when you run that
fantastic.
10 miles, you're fucking famished and starving afterwards, and
Yeah.
then back to the leftover fried chicken.
But, I mean, I know caffeine's not necessarily bad for you. Like, it's still... caffeine gets your metabolism running. That's why I can drink as much coffee as I want, because it's very little caffeine in a cup of coffee. I mean, some would say it's a lot, but, it's not very much for me. I used to drink, like, 2 pots of coffee a day. Now I just drink, like, 2 or 3 cups.
Yeah, my situation is a lot like that. And the worst part is that, like, my mom only cooks 1 meal a day, and... then I'm up for the entire rest of the night and I want to eat, but whatever she made usually has a ton of carbs in it. And another thing about your diet and your circadian rhythm is that you're not supposed to eat after 9 p.m. because by then your body doesn't digest the food fully. And if you do it within like an hour before bed, your body doesn't digest it correctly either, and that turns into fat and you gain weight. So I was going to start eating like nothing but protein, and...
Oh, protein.
I was like, Mom, you got nothing to microwave for food, and she's like, oh, it's fine, baby, I'll just make extra. And I'm like, I was okay with it at first, and then I started realizing how much breading she puts on absolutely everything.
Yeah, it's tough. Like,
and she says, we don't keep microwave food because it's not healthy, it's not good for you. And I'm like, Mom, neither is breading everything. So I started getting microwave food. And have you ever looked at like microwave food? Have you
so shit.
Have you ever like tried looking for a carb-free version of a microwave food? It is fucking impossible. There is not a carb-free food that's microwavable out there.
Microwavable carrots.
Vegetables have carbs.
Have it.
Yeah, vegetables have carbs. So
microwavable kale.
It's so fucking hard to just... I'm constantly being undermined, and like I know she's my mom and she loves me and she's not doing it on purpose, but god damn it, it is so fucking hard Like, I've actually gained more weight living here than I did when I lived with Robbie, and I thought I was out of shape when I lived with Robbie. I've gained 5, almost 10 pounds just being here, and
Yeah. And again, like it's not like exercise hurts, but it's just like I said, it's super inefficient.
she made
Um,
an she made brownies yesterday, and like I hate chocolate, and I that doesn't stop me from eating it though.
yeah, it is tough when you
Like, what
don't.
am I gonna do? Not eat the brownies that are in the house that were made for me?
Yeah,
Like,
it's tough, especially if you don't if you're not the owner of your life, so to say. Like if you don't provide for your own household and provide your own food, it's much
if I lived
harder.
on my own, I could easily cut out 100% of my carbs, no
Oh
problem.
yeah, for sure. But
I
I
just
mean,
eat like
it's
steak or
hard to do
chicken all
that.
the time,
Dude,
but
I would fucking love to eat steak all the time. Like
just
I
I would
love to
buy a
eat.
big ass roast and then I would cut it into slabs and then I would prepare those as steaks for like the next month or whatever. And like I could completely cut out carbs if I wanted to if I was living on my own, but I can't.
I was like doing research into that, and I was like, "Oh my god, you mean to tell me that I could eat pretty much as much meat as I want? That's fucking awesome." I mean, you just have to watch out for breading. You have to watch
I
out
love meat.
for.
I actually prefer
I
meat
love
over a
meat.
lot of flavors. Like I don't like sweet and sometimes I like sour, but I don't like the roof of my mouth being torn asunder by sour stuff.
Oh, it tears my tongue to shreds.
And like I don't dig sweet. I dig fruit flavors, but I don't dig sweet. And I'm just fine with meat. I could eat meat all the time and be fine with it, but that's not a reality where I am right now. And another part of the problem is that Audrey and I was supposed to move in with them.
You said it again.
Fuck, Glowcat. I'm supposed to move
If
in
you
with
didn't
them.
catch it the first time.
It's Glowcat. It's fine. Like I guess Audrian's a pretty common name, and like I'm not telling you how to spell it.
No. I mean, you could give me 3 tries, and I probably wouldn't spell it correctly. So.
Yeah, Glowcat. I was gonna move in with on like September 1st, but some things have turned out like, and they're not able to get their license anytime soon. I gotta wait a while longer. So I'm gonna be here even longer, and I'm worried I'm gonna be a tremendous cow when I actually meet them and just like, hey, I know we met online and I said I love you and stuff, but I didn't realize you were a fat fucking slob. I know the likelihood of that is very slim, but still, like that. I'm worried that I could get to the point that I would be disgusting to everybody, and like there's nothing I can do about it.
There's always that innate fear when you talk with someone over the internet. When you talk to someone over any other medium that's not physical, because if you're talking to them face to face, and they've already gotten an eyeful, right?
Hmm.
So that's why I can see the fear. But odds are, if you're video chatting or whatever, and you've gotten to the point where you like each other, I I think it should be fine. Of course, I'm not saying not do it, but you know.
I'm still gonna try to lose weight and everything, but like even when I quit soda completely, for that 2 weeks, I didn't lose any weight, and you're supposed to lose weight immediately if you change your diet and you take out carbs. Like for the first few days, I was like losing a pound a day, and then I went back on diet soda, and it's fine. And like, but now my mom recently discovered that you can put breading on everything, and she does.
Oh man. Yeah, that's the one thing
So
you're not
I'm
supposed to eat.
yeah, I'm stuck at 260. I can't lose it, and
That,
I can only go up from here. And I told Robbie, my ex, that if I was to ever get over 300, I want you to do one of two things: either leave me or kill me.
oh man.
And I've already left Robbie, so like, there's only one option left for when I reach 300.
Oh boy. I mean, just it's hard. Like it really is.
Remember, you're always going to be able to live to regret your own words. So make sure you say very little, so you don't have to eat that much when you're forced to eat your own words.
Yeah, I guess in this particular circumstance, you shouldn't be eating many of those words.
Yeah, The words have a little too much carbs. I gotta
Yeah.
cut back on the words.
It's a vicious cycle though. It's really bad. I can sympathize with people who have like a much worse problem than that. Like I know this guy who was like he was so big, and like, I felt bad for him, but he's like so big he couldn't even get a job or anything because he just had so many like physical problems. Um, and a good part of it is probably laziness. Like perhaps the person should have tried doing something way, way sooner than before it was too late.
Hmm.
But when you're in that situation, it seems like it's harder. Well, it's almost impossible to do anything.
And I
Um,
recently found out that like my level of weight isn't really that unattractive. Like normal people find it unattractive, but there's like whole communities that are like, you're over 200. Well, why aren't you on my lap right now?
well,
And it's
that's
just like I never got it. I never understood it. I was like, how can you be attracted to someone that is that large? And then I found this community, and like I'm like, wow, people actually are interested in me, even despite my size. And then I go like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And I can't stop. I still can't get over that. I find myself unattractive because of my own weight, even though there's constant proof that that's not the case.
yeah, and that's just that's like the ideal. Um, we see the ideal on like marketing and TV, or we hear it from tons of people what the ideal situation is. But unfortunately, the average person is not ideal.
I don't think I could be with someone who was a chubby chaser though, or a feeder. Like, I actually want to lose weight, and I want to be able to. I want to be able to be back to the weight that I thought I was most attractive at, and for me that was 180. And I want to be able to get back to that, and I couldn't live with someone who was an enabler, someone who was like, fatter. Yes, I want you fatter. Eat more, my swine princess.
Well, I mean, there's a difference between like enabling and forcing. I think that situation would be forcing. Enabling would be kind of like, to an extent, like what your mother's doing.
Yeah.
Um, but again, it's not necessarily.
Just being
Uh,
incredibly fat is unhealthy all around. Like, it's unhealthy for me right now. I I I get tired easily, like from just even basic shit, and like that's why I want to lose it, because I'm unhappy with my weight. I Things are more difficult than they need to be for me, and that's part of the reason why I'm not as active as I am, because it's such a pain to do these things, and I can imagine it's only going to get worse. And then there's these people that are into it and think they're attractive for it. They probably are. You're all attractive in your own way, internet. But let's be honest. Not all of you are gonna be winning the prom. Not winning the prom. Winning the beauty contest.
when in
But
the when in the eh, like fat pride. That's something I always found a little bit weird. Um, because I think it's perfectly fine to be proud as to who you are, but at the same time, I
there's got to be a cutting off point.
well, not necessarily a cutting off point, but you need to be able to say, hey, ooh, this isn't healthy, Um,
How
and
many of you guys out there, if you're watching and still listening, are fat and actually happy with your life as your current weight? Because I'm actually curious. I I can't find a way to be happy with it. And then we have that long pause, like we're actually waiting for someone to talk.
it makes the whole thing really deep. I was just like recollecting, I was like,
Oh,
God, didn't
okay.
we
Uh
start
huh.
talking about like games or something at first, and now we're talking about this? What?
Well, that's because we're talking about personal shit, but we got to cut it off
Yeah.
here soon. We're reaching an hour.
But I mean, just again, I, I'm still all for if if you're happy, then do whatever the fuck you want. Like, I don't care if you want to be the world's fattest man, you know. If you feel happy doing it, fucking do it, dude. More power to you. I don't
I
give
don't
a
want to
shit.
live past 70, but I'm not going to intentionally make myself so fat that I can't live past 70.
A lot of people, you know, like a lot of fat comedians, like even Jim Sterling, he says it how it is. Yeah, I'm fat because I like food, and I can get that. I love food too.
I fucking love
but
food
I mean,
too.
there's a point, and it's all personal.
I eat
You know, for
healthy
some people,
food.
they don't
I just
care.
eat it in an unhealthy way. I don't like chocolate. I don't like sweets. I don't like candy. I don't like a lot of that stuff. But the way I
Dude, I
eat the
love
food that
pasta.
I actually like is not good for me. Oh, I fucking love mac and cheese.
Dude,
You
pasta
set down a
is so
salad
good.
bowl of mac and cheese for me, and I will eat the
Oh my
entire
god.
salad bowl.
Like spaghetti, lasagna. Oh god, I love pasta.
I'm not a fan
I
of
love pasta.
lasagna and stuff like that, just because I don't like that white cheese.
Oh, well, you don't get that shit. You just get, like, you know, get the pasta noodles, you fill that shit with some tomato, and then, like, a ton of cheese. Not the white cheese, just a ton of cheese. Oh, man, that stuff's so good.
All right,
Pizza.
well-
God, I love pizza.
That's the
like
end
the
of-
most unhealthy thing you can eat.
Yeah, it is. It's like 90% carb. Like the only thing that isn't carb is your little toppings. Anyway, thank you guys for watching, and like the video,
For this deep
subscribe,
episode.
comment, do whatever floats your goat.
If you also love food, like I'm screwed.
But yeah, remember, no matter what hits you in life, no matter your weight, no matter what you like to do, just do what you want and do whatever floats your goat. Bye.